I'm 53 years old, and my father was in Korea and Vietnam. He served and fought for his country, and I'm grateful for him doing that. But at the time that he came back home from serving, he had a lot of emotional issues and a lot of things that he carried back with him and haunted him. I have a brother and two sisters. I'm the baby of the family, and basically our lives at home was pretty much a living hell. My father, though he loved us, he had a lot of issues, and he was angry all the time. There was never happiness. It was always anger and just foul language, and never happy about anything, and nobody would ever amount to anything. And through that, he was pretty much an alcoholic the entire time. He drank from around 10 o'clock in the morning until that evening when he went to bed. Started off in my drinking beer, drinking liquor, and as I said, some marijuana. But the thing about alcohol is the more you drink, the more it takes. You'll start off with a 6-pack, and then it'll take, may take 8 beers, then 10, then 12. Might start off just drinking on the weekend, then it starts to go to maybe 3 days a week, 5 days a week, and pretty soon I was drinking every day. And then it got to be to a point where I had to drink every day, whether I was at work or where I was at. And I found myself being in the same position my dad was, where I just couldn't get happy. No matter what, there was no happiness. If I made a great amount of money on a particular project, I would spend it to try to buy things to make me happy, and it just didn't work. That new truck, that new SUV, that new house, whatever it was I was buying, it was a temporary happiness. And I still had that anger, just a constant anger and a nagging in me all the time. I could never be happy. I was turning into my dad. I would take bottles of vodka and hide them in the garage and different places at home. And I would have to go take 3 or 4 heavy shots of vodka on Sunday morning before I even went to church. And then I would run in the house and brush my teeth while my wife was still getting ready and go to church that way. And so that's how bad of an alcoholic I was at that time. So we went to church, and that Sunday, Pastor Stephen gave a sermon on generational curses. Throughout that entire sermon, I thought about my daughter. I thought about the pain I had as a child growing up in a household that had an alcoholic father, and what it did to me, how it shaped me, how it caused me to make bad choices in my life. And I decided right then, this stops today. I've got to stop this today. And I made the conscious decision sitting there to pray. And I said, "Dear God, please, I'm begging you, take this away from me. I can't do it by myself. Take this burden from me, I beg you. I don't want to die this way. Please take it from me." And after the service, I asked Pastor Stephen, I said, "Can I come by your house after service today?" And he said, "Well," and then when he looked at me, he said, yeah, come on by." So I told my wife after church, I said, "I'm going to go by Pastor Stephen's. I need to talk to him about something." She said, "Well, what are you going over there for?" I said, "Don't worry about it. I'm just going over there." "No, if you're going, I'm going too." So she followed me, or she went with me, I should say. And we went in, and I told him everything. I told him everything and poured my heart out. How my life had been, how bad I had it, and how I wanted to serve God. I truly did. I owed him that. I owed God that. So Pastor Stephen and Pastor Tina got down, and we got on the floor, and they prayed with me and my wife. And I remember in his prayer, he says, "And Father, I want you to please just take the taste of the alcohol away from him. Just take the desire from him." And the amazing thing is, not only have I not had a drop of alcohol since that day, but I don't even have a desire for it anymore. And I think that's what floors me the most. I loved to drink. I always wanted to drink. I'd started in the mornings and loved the way it made me feel, the way it tasted. I have no desire for it anymore, ever. I've even been to quite a few functions after that where they had free alcohol, and I could have drank till I dropped if I wanted it, and I have no desire. And the first couple times I went somewhere after that where they had the free alcohol, I was actually with coworkers and friends that typically would be feeding me drinks because they knew me as that party guy, and for some reason they just don't even offer it to me. And I know what that is. That's absolutely God.